हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, मैं विशाल गुप्ता आपका टीचर। कैसे हो आप सब स्टूडेंट्स। इस वीडियो में मैं आपको कॉर्पोरेट अकाउंटिंग जो कि बीकॉम का एक सब्जेक्ट था उसका चैप्टर अकाउंट्स फॉर बैंकिंग कंपनीज आगे कंटिन्यू कराने जा रहा हूँ। गाइस, हम इसमें फिर एक्सप्लेन करेंगे एक्सप्लेनेशन ऑफ सम टर्म्स रिलेटिंग टू बैलेंस शीट। तो चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं कि नॉन बैंकिंग एसेट्स किसको बोलते हैं बैंकिंग बिजनेस में। ठीक है। तो नॉन बैंकिंग एसेट्स में क्या होता है कि अ बैंकिंग कंपनी इज नॉट अलाउड टू डील डायरेक्टली और इनडायरेक्टली इन द परचेज सेल और बार्टर ऑफ गुड्स एक्सेप्ट इन कनेक्शन विद द लेजिटिमेट बिजनेस बैंकिंग बिजनेस। ठीक है जी। बट अब बैंक कैन ऑलवेज लैंड अगेंस्ट अ सिक्योरिटी ऑफ एसेट, पर उसको कुछ लोन देना होता है कुछ एसेट्स गिरवी रख के। द बैंक में हैव टू टेक पोजेशन ऑफ एसेट्स गिवन एज सिक्योरिटी इफ द लोनी फेल टू रीपे द लोन। और अगर कोई बंदा जिसने लोन लिया हुआ है, कोई पर्सन या इंस्टीट्यूशन जिसने लोन लिया है, वो अपने पैसे नहीं चुका पाया, तो बैंक को उसकी एसेट्स को अपने पोजेशन में लेना पड़ता है। इन दैट केस द एसेट्स acquired in satisfaction of the claim of the bank will be shown as the non-banking assets in the balance sheet under the head other fixed assets. Such assets acquired should be disposed of within the 7 years, as a banking company is not allowed to hold such assets for any period exceeding 7 years from the date of their acquisition. P&L on the sale of such assets is required to be shown separately in P&L of the bank. Right guys? उसके बाद RBI may be in any particular case extend to aforesaid period of 7 years, by which such period not exceeding 5 years, where it is satisfied that such extension would be in the interest of the depositors of the banking company, interest on doubtful debts. While closing its book for an accounting year, a bank take credit for interest accrued on the term loan, cash credit, overdrafts, bill purchased and discounted, etc. But it must not take such a credit for interest accrued on नॉन परफॉर्मिंग एसेट्स और डाउटफुल डेट्स जो हैं कि पैसा रिकवर होगा या नहीं होगा। ठीक है। द गाइडिंग प्रिंसिपल इन दिस लाइन दैट द इंटरनेशनल अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स international accounting standard is that the income on non-performing assets should not be recognized on accrual basis and should be treated as income only when actually received. Hence, no entry need to be passed and therefore no credit or interest can be taken. While finalizing accounts of a bank, some advances may be doubtful for collection. Interest on such advances cannot be treated as income. Interest on doubtful debt is debited to the loan account and is credited to interest suspense account. ठीक है जी। The proportionate amount of the interest received in cash is transferred to the interest account and balance to the loan account. The loan account is closed by transferring the balance to bad debts account. Rebate on bill discounted और unexpired discounts का क्या करते हैं? This item is like interest received in advance and represent an unearned discount for those bills which will mature after the closing of the financial account. When a bank discounted a bill, following entry is recorded: bill discounted account to customers account to discount account. The bank will deduct discount for a period for which it has to wait to get payment of the bill on the maturity date. At the close of the financial year, some of the bills discounted may not have matured consequently, but the total credit in respect of such bills cannot be treated as earning during the year. Therefore, discount for unexpired period is debited to the discount account to cancel the credit given previously and credited to the rebate on the bill discounted account to cancel the credit given previously and credited to the rebate bill discount account or expired discount account or discount received in advance account. ठीक है जी। In the P&L account, this item is deducted from the interest and discount to get the net income of the year. In the balance sheet, this item appears under the head other liabilities and as unexpired discounts. At the commencement of the next year, reverse entry will be passed as follows: rebate on bill discounted account debited to discount account, being unexpired discount of the previous year expiring this year and becoming income. Right guys? तो अब इसका आगे क्या है? इनकम रिकॉग्निशन। इनकम रिकॉग्निशन में क्या आता है? बैंक एडवांसेस can also be classified as performing assets and non performing assets. ठीक है जी. Interest income from non performing assets is considered as income, and when it is received rather than on accrual basis, this is at as par international practice and accounting standards. 9. On revenue recognition. The above general rule, however, doesn't apply in the case of advances against the term deposit, national saving certificates, Kisan Vikas Patra, and life policies, provided adequate margin is available. In case of bank, interest on non-performing assets is not recognized as income and taken to the P&L account. Non-performing assets means a credit facility in respect of which interest and or principal repayment installment is in arrear for more than 90 days. ठीक है जी. और उसके बाद है प्रोविजन फॉर टैक्सेशन. प्रोविजन फॉर टैक्सेशन इज चार्ज टू P&L अकाउंट. ये तो हमें पता ही है. अंडर द हेडिंग प्रोविजन एंड कंटिजेंसीज, and in the balance sheet it is shown under the heading other liabilities and provisions. On the liability side, provision for taxation is to be made after making provision for doubtful debts. Okay, उसके बाद है classification of bank advances. So the banks are required to classify their advances into following four broad categories: standard assets, substandard assets, doubtful assets, and loss assets. The above classification is done after taking into consideration the degree of well-defined credit worthiness and the extent of dependence on the collateral security for realization of dues. एक्सपोर्ट प्रमोशन एक्सपोर्ट प्रोजेक्ट फाइनेंस क्या होता है? सो इसका ट्रीटमेंट क्या होगा? इन रिस्पेक्ट ऑफ द एक्सपोर्ट प्रोजेक्ट फाइनेंस, देयर कुड बी इंस्टेंसेस वेयर द एक्चुअल इंपोर्टर हैज पेड द ड्यू टू द बैंक्स अब्रॉड, बट द बैंक इन टर्न इज अनेबल टू रिमिट द अमाउंट ड्यू टू political developments such as war, strife, UN embargo, etc. In such cases, as per the RBI norms, where the lending bank is able to establish through documentary evidence that the importer has cleared the dues in full by depositing the amount in the bank abroad before it turned into NPA in the books of the bank, but the importer's country is not allowing the funds to be remitted due to political or other reasons. The assets classification may be made after a period of 1 year from the date the amount was deposited by the importer of the bank abroad. Advances under the rehabilitation approved by the BIFR or TLI. ठीक है जी. एज पर प्रूडेंट नॉर्म्स ऑफ आरबीआई, बैंक्स आर नॉट परमिट टू अपग्रेड द क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ एनी एडवांस इन रिस्पेक्ट ऑफ विच द टर्म्स हैज बीन रीनेगोशिएटेड अनलेस द पैकेज ऑफ रीनेगोशिएटेड टर्म हैज वर्कड सेटिस्फैक्टरली फॉर अ पीरियड ऑफ 1 year, while the existing credit facilities sanctioned to a unit under rehabilitation package approved by BIFR and term lending institution will continue to be classified as substandard or doubtful as the case may be in respect of additional facilities sanctioned under the rehabilitation packages. The income recognition asset classification norms will become applicable after a period of 1 year from the date of its disbursement. उसके बाद गवर्नमेंट गारंटेड एडवांसेस क्या कौन से होते हैं? ठीक है जी. with effect from 31 March 2001 in respect of the advances sanctioned against the state government guarantee, if the guarantee is evoked and remains in the default for more than 90 days, the banks are required to make normal provisions as discussed above. Advances granted under rehabilitation packages are approved by BIFR or term lending institutions. In respect of the advances under rehabilitation package approved by BFR term lending institutions, and the provision should continue to be made in respect of the dues to the bank on the existing credit facilities as per their classification as substandard or doubtful assets. As regard the conditional facilities sanctioned as per packaged financed by BIFR and or terms lending institutions, provisions on additional facilities sanctioned need not to be made for a period of 1 year from the date of disbursement. एंड उसके बाद कैटेगरीज ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट कौन सी हैं, एक तो होती है अप्रूव्ड, दीज आर प्रीडोमिनेंटली गवर्नमेंट सिक्योरिटीज होती हैं, और उसके बाद दूसरा अदर, उसमें क्या आ जाएगा, शेयर्स में पैसा लगाया, डिबेंचर्स में या बॉन्ड्स में, इन्वेस्टमेंट्स विद प्रायर ऑथराइजेशन ऑफ द बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स। और क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट क्या है, हेल्ड टू मेच्योरिटी, हेल्ड फॉर मेच्योरिटी, अवेलेबल फॉर सेल। ठीक है जी, ये 3 तरह की इन्वेस्टमेंट को क्लासीफाई किया गया है बैंकिंग सिस्टम में, बैंकिंग कंपनीज में। ठीक है जी, तो गाइज इसी के साथ ये बैंकिंग वाला चैप्टर कंप्लीट होता है। आई होप कि आपको अच्छे से समझ आ गया होगा। आप मेरी वीडियोस को देख के अपने नोट्स कंप्लीट कर लीजिए, और बस एक ही चैप्टर रह गया है इंश्योरेंस कंपनीज वाला, वो हम अगली वीडियो में करेंगे स्टार्ट। ओके जी, डन।